Before you put a single dollar into the SpaceX IPO, you need to watch this video all the way through, because what I am about to share with you could save you from one of the most expensive financial mistakes of your life. Or it could confirm that this is the greatest investment opportunity of your generation. Either way, you need to see this before you decide. SpaceX just priced its IPO at $135 per share. That values the company at $1.8 trillion, making it one of the most valuable companies on planet Earth. The IPO is already oversubscribed with over $10 billion in orders from institutional investors. Everyone wants in. The excitement is absolutely enormous, and that is exactly what worries me. My name is Alex, and this is Zero to Wealthy, where we give you honest financial analysis that actually helps you make better decisions with your money. Today, I want to walk you through everything you need to know about the SpaceX IPO before you invest a single dollar. The good, the bad, the risks, and the questions that most financial media is not asking right now. Let us start with why everyone is so excited. Because the excitement is genuinely justified. SpaceX is not a normal company. SpaceX has achieved things in the aerospace industry that most experts said were physically impossible just 15 years ago. Reusable rockets that land themselves back on their launch pads. A satellite internet network called Starlink that is generating real revenue from real customers all around the world. A massive spacecraft called Starship that is being tested right now and could fundamentally change how humanity accesses space. Elon Musk has built something genuinely historic here, and the company has been cash flow positive for years, which is remarkable for a space company. SpaceX is expected to generate somewhere between $22 and $24 billion in revenue in 2026, most of that from Starlink subscriptions. Those are genuinely impressive numbers, and I completely understand why investors are lining up to buy shares. But here is where I need you to slow down and think carefully, because excitement and investment returns are two completely different things. The first thing you need to understand about any IPO is this: the price at which a company goes public is set by the company and its investment bankers. Their job is to maximize the amount of money raised, not to give you a good deal. At $135 per share and a $1.8 trillion valuation, SpaceX is already priced as one of the most valuable companies in human history, before it has proven it can consistently grow at the rate that price implies. Let me put that valuation in perspective for you. $1.8 trillion is more than the current market value of Tesla. It is more than the combined value of Boeing, Lockheed Martin, Northrop Grumman, and Raytheon. Every major aerospace and defense company in America combined. SpaceX is being valued higher than all of them together. Now, is SpaceX better than all of those companies combined? That is the question you need to answer honestly before you invest. Here is what the Morningstar analyst who covers SpaceX said just last week when discussing the IPO price. Even when giving SpaceX the benefit of the doubt across several key financial forecasts, only the most optimistic scenario they could model approaches justifying the current IPO price. That is not a doom prediction. That is a careful financial analysis saying the price already reflects enormous optimism about SpaceX's future, and that means there is very little room for error. Now let me walk you through the specific risks that you are taking on at this price, because every investment involves risk, and most of the media coverage of this IPO is glossing over these completely. Risk number one, the Musk factor. Love him or hate him, Elon Musk is inseparable from SpaceX's brand, its government relationships, its innovation culture, and its ability to attract and retain top talent. Any significant change in Musk's involvement, his reputation, or his relationship with government agencies like NASA could have a material impact on SpaceX's business. This is not a minor risk. This is a key person risk that every serious investor needs to consider. SpaceX without Elon Musk is a fundamentally different company than SpaceX with him. Risk number two, Starlink competition. Right now, Starlink has a significant first-mover advantage in satellite internet, but Amazon's Project Kuiper is spending billions of dollars to compete directly. OneWeb is expanding, and other competitors are emerging. The satellite internet market is going to become significantly more competitive over the next 5 years. How much of Starlink's revenue and margins survive that competition is genuinely uncertain. Risk number 3, regulation and government dependence. Despite Musk's statement that over 95% of SpaceX's revenue comes from the private sector, SpaceX still depends heavily on government contracts, government launch range access, and government regulatory approvals for its operations. Any significant deterioration in SpaceX's relationship with the federal government could impact its business materially. Risk number 4, the Starship timeline. A huge portion of SpaceX's future valuation depends on Starship becoming commercially operational and dramatically reducing the cost of getting things into space. Starship is still being tested. The timeline for full commercial operations is uncertain. And in the aerospace industry, timelines almost always take longer and cost more than initially projected. If Starship takes significantly longer to become commercially viable than the market is currently pricing in, that $1.8 trillion valuation looks very different. Risk number 5, the IPO lockup expiration. When major insiders and early investors have their lockup period expire after the IPO, they are legally permitted to sell their shares. This often creates selling pressure on the stock price. With SpaceX's enormous insider ownership, the lockup expiration could create significant volatility in the months following the IPO. Now, with all of that said, I want to be completely honest with you about something important. I'm not telling you not to buy SpaceX stock. There are legitimate reasons why some investors should consider it. If you believe Starlink will dominate global satellite internet for the next decade, that is a bull case worth taking seriously. If you believe Starship will eventually reduce launch costs so dramatically that it opens up entirely new commercial space applications, that is a real possibility worth considering. If you believe SpaceX will be one of the defining companies of the next 50 years, there is a reasonable argument to be made for that. But here is my specific advice for individual investors considering the SpaceX IPO. First, do not invest money you cannot afford to lose. IPOs are volatile. The first days and weeks of trading can be extremely unpredictable in both directions. Only invest what you could stomach losing completely. Second, do not invest at the IPO price if you are planning to flip it for a quick profit. IPO day trading is extremely risky. Large institutional investors have significant advantages over individual investors in IPO trading. Third, if you believe in SpaceX long-term, consider waiting. Some of the best returns from high-profile IPOs come not on the first day of trading, but 6 to 12 months later when the initial excitement fades and the price better reflects fundamental business reality. Waiting is not missing out. It is often being smart. Fourth, position size matters enormously. Even if you are bullish on SpaceX, this should be a small percentage of a diversified portfolio, not a concentrated bet that could significantly impact your financial life if it goes against you. Fifth, read the actual IPO prospectus yourself. Do not rely only on financial media coverage. The prospectus contains the risk factors in the company's own words. Reading it is the single most important thing you can do before investing. Here is the bottom line. SpaceX is a genuinely remarkable company that has accomplished things that seemed impossible. The business is real, the revenue is real, and the long-term opportunity in space is potentially enormous. But at one point, $8 trillion, you are paying for perfection. You are paying for a future that has to unfold almost exactly as optimistically as possible to justify today's price. And in investing, paying for perfection is almost always where mistakes are made. The people who made the most money from Amazon were not the people who bought at the IPO price in 1997. They were the people who bought patiently over the following years as the business proved itself. You do not have to be first. You have to be right. Whatever you decide, make this decision with your eyes open, with full knowledge of the risks, and with a position size you can live with if things do not go as planned. If this analysis helped you think more clearly about the SpaceX IPO, please hit the like button right now. Subscribe to Zero to Wealthy for more honest financial analysis every single week. And share this with someone who is thinking about buying into this IPO. You could genuinely help them make a better decision. Drop a comment below and tell me, are you buying the SpaceX IPO? Or are you waiting and watching? I read every comment and respond to you personally. I will see you in the very next one.